Matt and Austin, Flathead Outdoorsmen. Today we're going to go over the top 3 pieces of Sitka Waterfowl Marsh that you need. Alright, so going from 3 to 1, start out with number 3. Austin, what do you got?
So number 3 for me is going to be the Sitka Neck Gator and the Marsh Camo. I used this a ton last season. Super impressed with it. It's got this really thick fleece inside. Keeps your neck super warm. It really does a good job of just keeping heat in your clothing. I didn't use it a ton, obviously jump hunting, because you're walking around and you just get too hot wearing this. But for the blind, it is awesome. Like, can't say enough about it. I'll be wearing it a ton this season.
Alright, so moving into my number 3, it's going to be the Sitka Sling Choke Pack. It's just over the shoulder sling design. You have your 8 noose ropes. You can use it as just a normal backpack. You can unclip a buckle, swing it around, use it as a tool bag in front of you. There's plenty of pockets for storage and whatever you want to put in there. Also included for those adults out there, there is a koozie. Keep your drink either cold or hot.
Yeah, and the thing I noticed about Matt's pack too that I think will be nice is that it's pretty small. So it's not going to take up a ton of room, not going to be super heavy or anything like that. That'll keep do a good job of keeping those ducks high up on his back so they're not weighing him down when he's walking through. So should be pretty good. Number 2 for me is going to be the Hudson Muff from Sitka and the Marsh Camo also. Again, super happy. Used it a ton, actually every single day last year I had it. Like, would never leave my house without this thing. It does an awesome job of keeping your hands warm. I stuff a lot of stuff inside, like extra shells. I mean, even from last season, there's still a ton of shotgun shells inside there. So I really enjoyed it last season, especially in the blind. You know, you got a place to put your hands that isn't like the inside of a coat, so you're all kind of jammed up and just kind of down at your lap while you're laying down in that blind, keeping you warm until the ducks come in. It's got this front zipper. I kept a multitude of things, you know, chapstick, extra chokes for my shotgun, pretty much anything else I could think of I would stuff inside here. It's kind of super nice for just keeping everything really accessible for you. So yeah, it's definitely like my second favorite piece of equipment. So
moving into my number 2, it's going to be the Sitka Lightweight Hoodie. Not only would I choose this for ducks, I would choose it for any type of hunting you're doing, whether it's big game, whether it's whitetail, ducks. It's one of the best pieces that they got, in my opinion, the most versatile. You can use it in the early hunting months just as a standalone piece, or you can use it later on, you know, with the rest of your system. Nice thing that the lightweight hoodie has is a built-in face mask, and it has a pretty tight hood. It has some elastic within it, so it forms to your face. You keep your face covered and the back of your head covered. It's not super heavy, so even if you're looking for something to wear in the summer, when you're fishing, something like that, it'll keep the sun off you and still be pretty light. So that's my number 2.
And one thing I will say about it, I own that too, and another super nice thing about it is if you throw it underneath like your big heavy coat, obviously when it's wintertime it's pretty cold out, but if you're planning on doing like blind in the morning and then you're gonna jump hunt during the day when it's a little bit hotter out, like throwing that underneath your big puffy coat, you take your coat off, and that's doing a pretty good job of keeping the heat in, but not too much heat in when you're walking around the whole day. So
right, going along with that, when you're putting it under a coat, it does have some thumb loops, so your sleeve's not going to get bunched up on your arm when you're putting it through a second layer. So this is going to be the number 1 item that you need for duck hunting season this year.
So me and Matt both agreed that if we could pick one item out of everything that we have, it's going to be this, which is the duck oven.
Duck oven. We both have this jacket super nice, super warm. Down, it has fleece lining towards the bottom. It has thumb loops.
Yeah, and so the super nice thing about the duck oven is that it's an insulating layer almost, but the outer fabric is tough enough that you're not gonna rip it like walking through bushes or doing whatever you're doing. It's gonna hold up pretty well. I mean, you're not gonna be able to trash on the thing, but it's tough enough that it'll get you through. And you know, me and Matt were just talking a little bit ago that I think for anybody's number one, it's always going to be a coat, because that's kind of your main piece of your whole camo arsenal, if you want to say that. I didn't have this last season, and the entire season watching Matt have it, I was going to get it for this season. I do have one for this season, and it'll be super nice. I mean, it's super, super warm, especially for blind hunting. It's going to keep you nice and warm inside that lay down blind or that A-frame blind that you got. And then it's, you know, easy, like we said before on the number 2 for Matt, is you take it off and, you know, you got some lighter weight stuff underneath there. So
right, yeah, and a lot of times with down jackets, you know, they might not be the most durable on the outside. This one's solid. The way the outer material is, it kind of just washes away water, so you're not going to be wet with it. It's not going to absorb that water like a normal down jacket would. Running this thing all last season, I mean, it was awesome. It kept me warm. If I only had a budget to buy one piece, I would buy this over again.
Yeah, and like Sitka's got a bunch of, you know, kind of a lineup for all their jackets and stuff like that, and how to layer them and do all that. But the duck oven is, in my opinion, the best all around. That's going to do everything well that you need it to do. You know, versus a Hudson that's maybe a little bit, it's not as well insulated as the duck oven. It's not going to keep you quite as warm. So you're going to want to layer a little bit more underneath the Hudson than you would the duck oven. And then the Delta wading jacket is pretty much just a shell. It's a waterproof shell. And then anything lower than the duck oven is going to be, you know, kind of a hoodie. And that's what I ran last season, and I was chomping at the bit to get one of these. So yeah, a couple things, you know, it's got your two waist pockets here, just like any other waist pocket that you probably have on any jacket. It's like decent size, you can fit pretty much anything you want in there. And then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just one breast pocket. Yeah,
so you got one breast zipper pocket on the outside, right, which does have the waterproof zipper, so water's not going to get in there. On the inside of that same side, you have an internal breast pocket.
Right here.
And then this jacket is sweet to pair with waders, because you do have your upper wader hand pocket, so when your bottom ones are covered up by the tops of your waders, you can always stick your hands up there if you don't have a muff around your waist.
Yeah, and if you're like us and you live, you know, anywhere north, you know, in Montana, that late season hunting, it's pretty dang cold out. So I know late season in the blind last year, you know, I was freezing most of the time with just what I could get underneath me, because all I had as an outer layer was a hoodie, one of Sitka's hoodies. That's a little bit thicker, but it definitely would have been way more comfortable with this thing. So I'm excited for that this year.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys are going to pick up from Sitka. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Flathead Outdoorsman. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll keep putting stuff out there for you.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks.